Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the Oracle install video. Hopefully your download has completed and you are now looking at an icon on your screen. Hopefully one that probably is a zip file. You'll need to unzip the file. When you unzip the file, you'll get a directory. I've downloaded the Win3211G version, release 1. If I double click on the folder that gets downloaded, I have a subfolder called Database. If I double click on that, I get another subdirectory in here. And don't bother looking at the welcome.html or any of the other folders at this point. What we're going to do is just go ahead and start the install. And we see a nice little icon here that says Oracle 11G Setup. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on this. And of course I'm going to get a Windows XP warning on opening up the file. I'm going to go ahead and say run so we can go ahead and run it. And the Oracle installer has a DOS-based kind of thing that's going to go on. It's just going to be preparing. My screen basically is just checking the monitor, checking the system configurations. It says please wait. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just going to let it go. The worst thing you can do is actually kind of close stuff up halfway through the install because that's not going to help you very much. So go ahead and just let it sit for as long as it needs to sit for until it finally configures itself. And when you're ready, the first step of the install comes up with this screen. Now, a little note actually before I even get there. If you're installing the wrong version, if you have a Windows 64-bit processor and you're running the 32-bit install, you're going to end up with an error message at that first DOS window that just came up. If everything works out great, you're installing the right version on the right platform, you're going to get this screen. So this screen basically tells you that you have the correct software. I'm going to select the option above here for basic installation, which is the default actually. And I'm going to leave everything on the default. So what I've got here is the most important thing to be filled in, which is going to be the password. So if I scroll down to the bottom here, I see that there's only really 2 places I actually have to type anything in here. Don't select the advanced installation. Let's just go with the basic. And it's going to create a starter database for us that's going to give us some sample, like an HR database and a couple of other little retail sales databases and stuff. So go ahead and select a password that you would like to use. And remember the password. You're going to have to type it in twice to confirm it. Write it down somewhere and remember it because you'll never be able to retrieve it from anywhere. And this is going to be the main admin password for system, which is going to be the default user. So I went ahead and I clicked on next. And we've got, actually let me get rid of this screen here. I've got another little screen that's coming up to the screen. It says it's going to take a few minutes. So it's kind of like a little dialogue-less box. Okay, so the Oracle Universal Install prerequisite checks. It's going to say it's checking the physical memory requirements. And there's a warning. My system probably doesn't have as much memory as it probably should. If I clicked on here, I can actually see what the warning is, but I can pretty much just suspect that it's not going to be so good. If I click to the box, nothing has failed. What I'm looking for are items that would actually be a failure. So I have success in terms of some of the other items. Disk space is okay. You know, the running memory is going to be a little bit low. Everything else is pretty much set. I would just leave the box alone unless you see something red or something that says failure. So there's 2 warnings, 0 requirements to be verified. If you run into requirements, it's going to necessarily mean some sort of a setting, and there'll be something that you can click on actually that's going to be able to tell you. In fact, if I click on, for example, this warning on checking the network configuration requirements down in the bottom, probably because I'm not connected to a network right now, the overall result of this check failed. And I have low memory, so if I come up here, it's going to tell me a little bit about my not so good memory requirement. Yeah, it expected 922 megabytes. I don't actually have that. Actual is 767 megabytes. Oh well, it failed. But my system runs slow anyway. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and click on next here. And it's going to say some recommendation prerequisite checks have failed. Yeah, I know. You have not met, you might get errors during the install. Do you want to proceed? Yes, I want to proceed. Because I really didn't get failings. I mean, I got warnings that something failed. So it just means we're going to run a little slow. So up at the top here, I've got the processing in the install here, just to show you a little bit. It's at 98, 99%. Okay, Oracle Configuration Manager. Well, that wasn't too bad. I'm actually not going to select the Configuration Manager. I'm going to leave it alone because I really just want to install the bare bones. I don't want to really install a lot of the other options. So I'm just going to go, because we can always change this stuff later. I'm going to go next. The most important thing to remember is just that password you typed in. Everything else can be changed afterwards. So you get a little summary screen, and the summary screen is going to have all of the settings that you've selected. I've got 2.88 gigabytes. Wow, that's a lot of disk space it takes up. Default language is English, so it looks pretty good. I like all of the options. I'm going to press install, and then the install is going to run through a series of extractions. So this may take a few minutes. What I'm going to do at this point is pause the video and then come back when that status bar says 100% on it, and the entire files have been copied, because I believe this is going to take way too long to sit here and wait for. So catch me in part 3, and it will be for the configuration of the system. So make sure your status bar goes to 100%. You finish the install before you start with number 3. And while this is going, actually kind of just show you some information. I see it right here. You know, some features and things of that nature. But it's, you know, you can go ahead and sit here and read the optional stuff if you'd like. Hi everybody, I'm back, and my download completed and my install completed. Actually, what ended up happening is it goes through, the database configuration assistant goes through, and let me just move this out of the way so you can see 3 different stages, and you'll have 3 different check marks. And I paused the previous video so that we didn't have to wait for this 100% to occur. Now your screen should say 100% on it. You may not see that screen though. It might be hidden behind this screen here, which is indicating that we're done. I don't want to go into password management at this point. I've already added an admin password. I just want to click on OK, and this will take me back to the end of the installation. So I have installation for Oracle 11G was successful. This is what you're looking for. Unfortunately, there's not very much user feedback in regards to the install.